Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me Ali again here. Today we will explain the topology that we are going to work with it. So explaining the topology actually is very important to let you understand uh, the product itself. If you are working like with FMC or FTD and how the packet is going and what you are preempting, what you are denying. So actually to understand it, you have to understand the topology itself. So let's take or have a casual talk about like our topology and what we are going to do with. So here, of course, I'm going to use like the Pinit Lab. So you are free to use whatever tool you want. So let me discuss it here. Okay, actually this part for the ISP, just nothing. Here I'm connected the topology here to my virtual NIC to have the internet after that. Okay, so this is actually my home router lab. You can consider it. This is a router that I put it as it's an ISP that I will give it like 15.15.15.1, and for the firewall it will be like 15.15.15.2, and of course this will be like active, the FTD active, and this is the standby. This is one switch. Why I put one switch? Just to make the topology looking nice. But of course, I can put these two cables directly to the ISP router and make it here like BVI. Doesn't matter. So this is actually don't care like too much about the part, the ISP part. So let me just zoom it for you to have better visibility of our lab. Great. So here is, as what we said, is the firewall, the FTD. The image that I'm using here 6.6.45. I will try to upload the images for you to use it. And this is the standby, so we'll make here active standby for that. Here it's a core switch, it will be active, and here it will be core switch, it will be passive or standby. And here the access switches. The access switches actually, it has down, if we scroll it down, the PCs, like this is the management PC, and this is the VLAN PC in VLAN 10, we will put it, and this is in VLAN 20, and this is Windows Server to make like identity, and we'll make a domain controller, Active Directory, etc. And here we'll be having like eyes. So the eyes, of course, we will work a bit on it. Maybe we can apply the SGT secure group tagging, and many profiling like AAA and all this stuff. I will arrange it for you. Doesn't matter to make it like a very nice course actually. So usually in the real environment, uh, all the significant or valuable devices should be connected in the core. Like for example, the FMC should be like connected to the core. The eyes should be connected to the core with a redundant link, of course. The Windows Server should be connected to the core. But why I made it like in the axis, just to minimize the number of links, cable links here, and the topology to be like viewable for you. Great. So let's talk about in the firewall the two cables here. Try to understand the coloring for me. Right now, this one, it will be a trunk. Why? Because our gateway or the VLANs, it will be here, at least for the HQ, for this site. Okay? To teach you like how to make the sub interfaces, it's something called, if you remember in CCA and CCNP, something called router and stick. When we have like a Cisco router here, and you will be having like a switch, we'll make sub interfaces and we'll put it in 802.1q. So and after that this will be like a trunk, and also all the VLANs will be here, and this core will be only having like layer 2 VLANs. So the gateway will be like the router, and here the same thing, the gateway will be the firewall itself. So it's really router on stick, you can consider it at that. So all the VLANs will be created like here. But like in the real case scenario, what I like and prefer, I will make all my SVIs layer 3 VLAN and the core switch. Okay, so the inter VLAN routing will be happening here. The difference here you have to understand it. If you make it here, so my core switch is the gateway for all the VLANs. But if I make it here, so the gateway for the VLANs will be the firewall. So what is the difference and who the best? Great. If you have a proper firewall and it's heavy for it's like it can handle like a lot of sessions and traffics, then make it here, because if you make the SVI in your firewall here, so the traffic between the inter-VLAN routing will be happening here. So if VLAN 10 want to communicate with VLAN 20, it will go to the router and it will after that communicate with VLAN 20 with respect to all VLANs. So why should I need that? Maybe you want to apply an IPS here between the VLANs. This is a scenario and happened, and a lot of companies recommended that. So they will buy like firepower, like huge specs, okay, like let's say 4000 series, okay, to handle all the traffics and all this stuff, and it will make it all in one. Yeah, because if you make the SVI here, then if you want to apply the IPS between the VLANs, it will not be happen, because the traffic is not between the VLANs, it's not going to the firewall, because your gateway or the SVI is here, so the inter-VLAN routing is happening here. So the VLANs is communicating to each other here, it's not going to the firewall. But in case of security and you want it, yes. So for the HQ, I will make the SVIs all here in the firewall. And when I'm opening like a branch one to make like a site-to-site VPN and all this stuff, so we will make it like on the core switch to show you like how the configuration will be on both. Great. So all the SVI will be there. Let me just delete what I wrote here. Then the purple one will be like the trunk, and here it will be handling the layer 2 VLANs. The VLAN that will be having here VLAN 10 in yellow, or I don't know what is the color here. So it will be PC in VLAN 10. The purple, not this one purple, excuse me, but because this is a dark purple, okay? The purple here is VLAN 20. Okay, blue, the DMZ Windows Server, this one, so it will be in VLAN 30. VLAN 40, it will be like the ice, okay, and it's 40 here. In the green one, VLAN 100, it will be like the management cable for the FMC and FTD. Because the FTD and FMC to communicate to each other, it has to dedicated port or interface its management, and it's called diagnostic. Actually, we will see it, and it's actually all in S-core. So why I connect here the management? Because one for the management here, so VLAN will be for the management, and here it will be VTP, and this will be like a client, so or it will absorb or transfer all the VLANs to this one. So I'll be having all the one. I will associate this interface and this interface with the management, and this interface with the VLAN 10. This with the DMZ, I will put in a DMZ. The beauty of that, and I will come in another later videos, that why I do like this. Someone will tell me, wait, when it was the ASA, I was doing like that. This is the ASA. It was this port, I will make it in a zone called outside and zone inside, and I will make someone like DMZ. So DMZ here. So DMZ. and you can only associate one interface with one security zone with the ASA. But the case with firepower is more solid because it's a zone-based firewall. Then, in any interface, like, of course, each interface, it has to be associated with one zone, right? But many interfaces can associate with one zone. For example, if I have inside zone and I have like interface 1, 2, 3, it will be associated with inside zone. Yes, I can do that. But in SA, you cannot do that. The same of outside. I can make it like DMZ, okay, and I can associate with it like one or more interfaces. But be careful. One interface can be associated to one zone. Great. We will come to this later and we will explain it like more and more. So because of this zone-based firewall option, so what I did here, great. I will make sub-interfaces from the G0/0. I will make all the VLANs to be passed by the G0/0. And the start, for example, G0/0.10, VLAN 10. I will make it inside. Okay, so it will be in the inside zone. G0 slash, let's say, 30. I will make it in the DMZ. Yes, it will be in the DMZ. And it's the same cable. Great. But you remember in the ASA, the outside, it was security level called 0. The inside, security level called 100. And the DMZ, as I remember, it can give it like 50. And there is a rule for the ASA that the smaller value cannot access the higher value unless there is, of course, an access control rule for that. But the higher can get an access for the lower. But the case with the zone-based firewall here in the FTD, no. All is equal. Like, no one can access anyone unless you permit that. You give a rule for that. Who's going to communicate with whom? Okay? So this concept you have to keep it in your mind. Great. So we said that we have here two firewall. It will be like active and standby. We're having like two core switch, core 1 and core 2 active and standby. Also, two access switches. All these switches are connected. This will assign the proper VLAN for everyone. Here the FMC, for our FMC, also I'm using here version 6.6.45. Okay, and for the eyes it is 2.6, and here Windows Server 2016. So here if we can see, like remove everything, give me the mouse. If here edit, it's Firepower FTD 6.6.45. It's 0.45, but I shorten it. And for the FMC, it is the same. FMC 6.6.45. This is the image. Eyes is off for the time being because we don't need it, so we will save some resources. It's 2.6. Great. Windows Server, it's Windows Server 2016. Great. And these are Windows 7, Windows 7, Windows 7. Nothing much special. And here, this is the internet that I put it for you. Edit. It is here the management cloud. Okay, the management cloud always addressed my router range. Okay, my real router range in my home. And this is like what I'm using here. It's normal Cisco router. Okay, IOL. For simplicity, just I'm doing like some small NAT. Of course, I will go for the configuration switches and router and everything like from the beginning for you, so don't worry for that. That's it. This is a switch. No any configuration will be just to organize the topology that I told you. We can here like make either channel. This is not our topic, but we can do like whatever we want. So this is actually basically our topology. I hope it's not complicated. It's very like simple, because from this we can carry on all the configuration for the FTD, the FMC, the switches, how the packet will go, how we'll apply the IPS, how we'll make the inter-VLAN routing. All the configuration will be on this. After finishing that and done, we will open another branch and we will apply the site-to-site VPN. And if we have time, like we can make like a remote access VPN. And here also the FMC will be managed all the firewall in the headquarter and the branch one. The eyes will give them the profiling and the poachers for the headquarter and the branch one. So it will be like amazing and nice and realistic, and will help you exactly to understand this course. I hope this will be like clear for you, and see you in another video, inshallah. And please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel to be like reached to everyone. Thank you very much, and see you.